It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, baby. The chat is off to the races, on fire this morning. And you know what always happens, you guys? I'll think of what I want to talk about and have a general outline, and I'll be like, this is what I want to go over or whatever. And then whatever you guys chat about ends up overtaking that. And then it's just so hot and heavy that becomes the thing everybody wants to talk about. This is interesting. There's a hot debate raging here in the chat about Freeman's Esquire photo shoot, all of that, busting with the boys. Is this good for the program? Is it bad for the program? What is the impression it gives? Does it lend to softness to have your head coach in a photo shoot like Mike Honcho from Talladega Nights? I mean, this is interesting. And I think there are some points to consider on all sides of this. As always, I say with a lot of things, there's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of nuance. I understand some of the arguments being made against Freeman doing the Esquire thing and all that. And I understand arguments on the other side of it too. So I want to go over some of this stuff. Really interesting. And then also, you're about to get a scrimmage that actually matters. And it's not the blue and gold one, by the way. It's not the blue and gold one. So you're going to get Freeman is a bit of a narcissist. If you think Freeman's a bit of a narcissist, what does that make the previous Notre Dame coach? Serious question. If this one you are saying is a narcissist, what was the last one? A serial psychopath? If you're gonna go there, what does that make the other one? The last one. I'm just wondering, what's a level up from narcissist then if you're putting Freeman there? So really, there's a lot of meat on this bone. There's a lot of meat on this bone. Some people are gonna agree, some people are gonna disagree. But we're gonna get into this. But the important thing isn't probably Freeman in a photo shoot. It's you're going to get a scrimmage that actually matters. And it isn't blue and gold. That's just a showcase for the fans, whatever, a fun day to see individual guys play or whatever. The reason the jersey scrimmage matters is it's a chance for one to be on one, best to be on best, good on good. If you get into blue and gold and you have split teams or whatever, you're not looking at the number one line, the number one O line against the number one D line. You're not getting that. So you're not able to look at those units. Who's just in my mind, what does the early down defensive line rotation look like? When they're doing this jersey scrimmage, when it's third and long, well, how are they lining up? Where do they have these guys at? Who's out there? Who's doing? You're just not going to get one-on-ones in the blue and gold game. You're just not going to get it. So this jersey scrimmage is the most important activity of the spring, other than Marcus and Esquire, obviously, Andrew. But it's exciting to me because it's the most information you're going to get. It's the most the most we are going to learn about this team comes from this scrimmage. And so there's some things there that I want to talk about and go over as well. And so it is, but this is a very healthy, juicy discussion here in the chat. And I genuinely understand there's multiple sides to this Freeman debate. And if this is a soft move, a weak move, a good move, whatever it is, this is a good debate. So thank you guys for being here. Let's just give the update right away for Blue and Gold Weekend. People have asked. Friday night, we are going to go out. I'm going to pick a bar, post up there on Eddy Street, convenient location. I pick one of the bigger ones. Somebody tell me where we were last year. Was it Brothers? It's one of the bigger bars because I don't like being all cramped in. And when I have a lot of people come and hang out, I need a little space. Is it Brothers? It was one of the bigger ones. We got a few booths in the back. That was our little area. Probably going to do that again on Friday night. So anybody that's in town, you're looking for something to do, you could grab something to eat and grab a drink there where we're going to meet, or you could go do it somewhere else and then come there after and just have a drink. Okay, it was Brothers. We're probably going to do that again just because there's a lot of space. Some of those other bars get too jammed in. I don't like that feeling. Same reason I don't like going to football games live. I don't like all the people, too many people everywhere. Same reason I don't like Disney. Too many people everywhere. Everywhere you turn. People. I only like my people, not other people. Son of a buck. So, yeah, Johnny getting scammed at the White Sox exit on a Tuesday. I did respond to that tweet online. It's bad enough that the Sox are still a humiliating failure, embarrassment, like lowest run totals, the lowest batting average of any team. Like they're horrible again. I'm telling you. It's so insulting because when you pay money to go to a White Sox game on purpose, you're already being ripped off. And then when you're on the ramp to park, the fake parking agents rip you off again. There's no redeeming quality to White Sox baseball. You're getting ripped off if you pay to actually go in the stadium. And you're getting ripped off when you go park. You're getting extorted. They're saying, give me $50 or something bad's going to happen while you're on the ramp in traffic. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So that's a total loss. It doesn't matter to me because I'm not going to any White Sox games. I'm boycotting them until they get serious about winning. I'm not going. So it doesn't affect me, but I do think it's funny. People are getting ripped off in the stadium and now on their way to it. That is awesome, by the way. So, all right, you guys, look at this. I know everybody doesn't always like when our other fan bases check in. Hollywood Caden with the $20 holler. WPP, let's start you off. I have a feeling this will cause some electricity in the morning. WPP, welcome.
Hey, John, it's Pat from West Palm. Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I think that, a photo shoot like Marcus Freeman did is self-promotion, which for most people isn't a bad thing, but, he's a coach of a team sport and he's calling attention to himself. That's all he's doing. And I didn't click on, the Esquire nonsense, but I did hear maybe 5 minutes of his interview with that young lady that interviewed him. I forget her name, where this came up. And Freeman claimed that this was part of a recruiting trip to New York. I feel like saying to him, Coach Freeman, it's one thing for you to do this kind of thing, but don't lie about it. You're lying when you say it was just a quick detour on a recruiting trip. I used to live in New York. I know some people in the fashion industry, the modeling industry. That's a full day photo shoot. Let me tell you, because you get there, they put on makeup, they, try you out on clothes. They take, for every picture that gets published, there's 100 that they sift through That's a full day thing. I'm not a model, obviously, but I know people who are. I know you don't get a photo shoot in Esquire magazine unless you're devoting a full day to that crap. And so Marcus Freeman's just a liar when he says that it was a detour on a recruiting trip. So not only is he self-promoting, but he's lying about it. And it speaks to the man's character. But I think the reason I'm calling in, though, is let's contrast this with a year ago. There was a young man on the Notre Dame football team who needed publicity, who, according to Denbrock, was the best player Denbrock ever coached, who had a real shot at a Heisman Trophy. And I'm telling you right now, John, that was the most piss poor Heisman campaign I've ever seen. There was so minimal, there was such a lack of publicity, of hyping up Jeremiah Love when he needed the publicity. And so why am I mentioning that? Here's Marcus Freeman taking an opportunity to promote himself. Why didn't he promote one of his players last year? For that, on that point, I think Carr is a real baller. Carr's got a shot at a Heisman run this year. Why didn't Marcus Freeman say, hey, Esquire, instead of me, why don't you take one of my players and do a Photoshop with him? Let him get pushed forward. Let him get the hype and the publicity, and it would launch Carr's Heisman campaign. Marcus Freeman didn't do that because he took the opportunity for himself. For himself. That's disgusting. It really is. You're the head coach of the University of Notre Dame, and you're doing a photo shoot that's all about you. It's disgusting, John. It really is. And you know what? The university pays that man $30,000 a day. That's what his salary comes out to. $30,000 a day. And he takes a business day off to do a photo shoot in New York to pat himself on the back. It's really, really disgusting. But you know what? If he wins a national championship in spite of this lack of focus, no one will remember this. But if he doesn't, John, people like me are going to remember. We're going to remember.
Okay.
And I think the whole thing was an embarrassment, but it is what it is. You know, I'm kind of over it.
Okay. So I understand the positioning there. Let me just play the other side of this coin, just so you can respond to what the other side of the debate would be. I looked at the Esquire thing, and yeah, you had the pictures that will come up on Twitter if Notre Dame loses a bad game. They're going to, people in Notre Dame's fan base and outside, but are going to post those pictures and mock us and go, oh, look what you were doing when you should have been prepared for the game. That will happen if Notre Dame falters. But I looked at the Esquire thing, and there was a lot of stuff about the Notre Dame team overall. So do you see, like, you're saying it's self-promotion, obviously the photos, it's hard to say that that's not, but there was stuff in there about the overall Notre Dame football experience. It wasn't just all about him. It was somewhat about the team and what they're trying to accomplish and the journey. Is there no value in the publicity of that from your end of like furthering the Notre Dame stuff in a different way?
No, I don't, because it's Esquire magazine. It's like a girly magazine. I mean, it's like there aren't any college football fans that read that stuff, right? So the target audience is people who ooh and ah about a handsome man. That's all it is. I mean, if you went to Sports Illustrated, it'd be different, I guess. But it's Esquire magazine.
And then I do see the argument in the chat about like, you don't see Cignetti doing that. Could you imagine if Kelly did that? Kirby Smart's not going to have one of these opportunities. Like, isn't the response to that is like every coach is different and has like their vibe and their aura and their like persona in the media. And then like you work whatever your angle is. For Cignetti, it's the hard ass Google me. It's that hard. That works for him. Kirby's been doing it a while. He has his thing. Like, is some of this not, you got to work the angle that works for you. And for whatever reason, Freeman's the hot young commodity, like one of the young faces of college football. And it just so happens he's good looking. And so these are opportunities that find him that wouldn't find Kelly, right? Or Kirby, as far as anybody wanting to take pictures of them. Like, do you get what I'm saying? That, like, if that's your angle, you work your angle that works for you, and they're all different, or no?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Kirby Smart, John. There's a small, tiny little difference between Kirby Smart and Marcus Freeman. You see, Kirby Smart has won a championship. Do you understand? He's won. He's hit the top of his profession. Can Marcus Freeman say the same? Can he?
No, he definitely cannot, but he does feature a win over that guy you're talking about. Does that
Oh,
matter
please,
for
no,
anything?
stop with that. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's not compare those two coaching resumes. They
No,
don't
I'm
compare.
not comparing them. One guy has multiple titles and the other guy doesn't, but I do think it's fair to point out that Freeman did win the last time they were playing each other. I do think that's a fair data point if we're having this discussion, at least.
Look, Marcus Freeman can prance down the catwalk all he wants after he masters his trade and after he brings home a championship.
Yeah.
Before that, uh, you know, to do something like this and pat yourself on the back is so ridiculous and premature. Look, I'm going to hang up soon because I'm getting very worked up. All I know is this: anybody who says Marcus Freeman is obsessed with winning a title is either a liar or just very, very stupid, because you don't spend a full day in New York getting your picture taken for Esquire magazine and then tell me how devoted you are to football, because you're just not. This is 2 + 2 = 4. You're obviously not devoted to it. You are devoted to patting yourself on the back. That's your devoted. You're very devoted to prancing around showing how handsome you are. But what does that have to do with football? The answer is nothing. And so here we are stuck with a coach who promotes himself, yet doesn't take any effort that I can see to promoting players on that play for him, that need hype, that need exposure. Guys like Carr, and last year would have been Jeremiah Love, and they got none of that, John. Why isn't Marcus? I mean, one of the big crimes last year was that Jeremiah Love didn't get the exposure he needed. He didn't.
Yeah, and that part's true. That part's definitely true. I would have liked to see a more concerted PR campaign from the Notre Dame program starting in summer, really, to start building that up more. I do think that's a fair criticism. The overall operation and the PR wing in Notre Dame should have done a much better job of pumping him early. Although, obviously week one would have hurt any momentum that had anyways, because week one didn't go well for us or the running backs, quite frankly.
Why doesn't it start with the head coach? Why doesn't he say, you know what, Esquire, I got this young guy here, Carr, and he's a real baller, and he's going to be a household name in a couple of years when he's in the NFL. Why don't you get out ahead of it and do a feature on him, right? Did Marcus Freeman do that? Did he do that? No, he didn't do that. Did he do it last year with Love? No, he didn't do that either. The guy takes look, this is a team sport, and leaders have to lead from the front, and that's by not putting yourself in a position to be hogging spotlight and credit. That's the opposite of a team sport. And we have players that need media campaigns, that need media hype. I see no evidence at all that Marcus Freeman gives a rat's ass about them. I don't see it. I don't see it. He takes the spotlight for himself. And look, I got to get going, John. Thanks for taking my call. It is what it is. I'm kind of over with it. It's done with. I think that it's pretty clear we have a coach who's not focused 100% on. He's sure as hell isn't obsessed. You have to be very, very foolish to think that the man's obsessed with winning a championship when this is how he spends his time and this is the example he sets for his players. I mean, he's telling players to go kill it in the gym, to keep the pain, to leave no doubt. And yet Marcus Freeman has done nothing but create doubt as to whether he gives a damn about winning a championship. And I got news. His bosses don't give a damn either. I mean, how could you pay a man $30,000 a day in salary and let him do this? Now, maybe the Notre Dame media department was behind it, in which case whoever arranged this should be fired. But, Marcus Freeman takes responsibility. He's the one that agreed to do it. And, look, it is what it is. It's not a question of being teased later or anything else. It's a question of, character, really. Like, you taking attention onto yourself. And I see no proof that you push the spotlight on some of your players that need the attention. And so here we are. But all the fanboys in your chat will defend Marcus Freeman because that's what they do. And the guy walks on water and all, yada, yada, yada. Look, the way I see it, Marcus Freeman has a good 4-game winning streak from 2024 to 2025, where he beat USC, Indiana, Georgia, and Penn State. That was a very nice 4-game stretch. And unfortunately, it looks to me like he's going to milk that for the rest of his time at Notre Dame. And for Notre Dame, the admin, that's good enough. It's good enough. Almost is good enough. Because we're not really trying to get a championship. And our head coach makes that very clear.
Man, yeah, that's tough stuff, man. That's tough stuff. I do admit it's going to add heat if something goes wrong this year. I do understand that. I am a little surprised there's as many people that there are that really had a visceral reaction to this. I didn't think it would. I thought it'd be a day or two, a couple comments, and then fade away. I'm a little surprised that as many people as there are upset about this. Just being honest.
I mean, it reminds me of a couple years ago. We had a wide receiver, Chase Claypool, who was a very talented guy, but he dogged it his first 3 years at Notre Dame, and then he flipped the switch his senior year, had a very nice season his senior year, had all the tools for a top flight NFL wide receiver. He goes to the NFL. I think he had one good year there, and then, but not great. He had a good year, not a great one. And then he starts taking up modeling and was seen walking down a Paris catwalk. And it was very clear to the Steelers or whatever team picked him up that this guy's not serious about football. And it was proven correct. I'm not sure Claypool's even in the league anymore, which is a horrible waste of talent. But it's indicative of a person not serious about their trade to waste time on garbage like this. But we'll see. Maybe the team is so talented we can do with a head coach who's not particularly focused. I mean, the Miami Hurricanes won a national title in 2001 with a very weak person in charge, Larry Coker. It can be done if your talent is so overwhelming. And our schedule is weak, so maybe we'll be able to just club these other teams with a head coach who's half-assing it. I don't know. I hope so.
Man.
Because I don't see we have much choice. Anyway, John, I have to get going.
Hey, have a good weekend. Have a good one.
Be good.
Take care. I'm just like, I'm just a little surprised. Like, how does him doing one very unique opportunity tailored to him in a way that wouldn't apply to other Notre Dame coaches to reach a different part of America because of the unique dynamic that Freeman brings? I can't have like one afternoon of that mean that he's not serious about winning football. I do understand the old school aspect of it. Like, you're not exactly showing you're a tough guy here when you're in the spread or whatever. I understand that. And it'll be used against you if you lose, for sure. But it's hard for me to jump all the way to he did a photo shoot, so he's not serious about football. Like, I have a very hard time like getting there. I understand some of what people don't like about it. But to go all the way to like that thing proves he's not serious about football, I can't go there. It's just like, and the other part of it is, it's like the byline in the article was something about, like in Esquire, the byline explaining what it was about before they got into the article was something about Notre Dame's got a hip modern coach and made Notre Dame cool again or something like that. Everybody had a problem. Follow me here. Everybody had a problem when Notre Dame was stiff, cold, boring, had no aura, had no vibe, even though you like it was stuffy old Notre Dame, and that was like stuck on the place. Stuffy old, not fun Notre Dame. Now you got a guy who's getting articles written about him saying he has made Notre Dame cool again, and then that helps recruiting. And is it undeniable that Freeman's like cool factor helps being modern, able to relate to the kids and all that? Is anybody going to say that doesn't help recruiting? But like I always had those complaints. Notre Dame's not cool at all to appeal to these kids. That's hard to overcome. Now you got a guy that is, and now we don't like that either. But I had that complaint before that Notre Dame was cold and had no vibe. And then now you have a guy that brings that different energy, but now we don't like that either. So it's just, I can't make this stretch. I wonder this. This is a serious question, not a troll. Would people feel the same way if it was an Esquire article but didn't have kind of corny pictures? That is an honest question. I'm not being sarcastic at all. Would people feel the same way if it was an article right up in Esquire, but it didn't have the photos that some people are going to think are corny? Is that like the big difference? I don't know. I don't know. And then it's like, is this just a case where when you have a coach that's in shape and good looking and all that, the opportunities are going to look different that come his way, as opposed to like an opportunity from Hardee's that comes to Charlie Weiss? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to navigate this. I'm trying to navigate this. But a part of me thought like, wow, that's kind of unique to see Freeman in something like this. That's kind of unique. And then I thought, well, he's a unique guy that offers a unique aura and a unique like vibe. So therefore, he's going to get unique opportunities. And is there not an argument that even if an article was about him or whatever, but it's like good for Notre Dame to just have more stuff out there, putting Notre Dame football stuff in a good light? Is there no argument that like that's just good for the operation to have more good Notre Dame stuff out there? So it's just I don't know. I understand some of not liking it, but to me there's a line there to where I just don't care that much. I understand the general premise, but I can't go as far as like, that's it. Somebody wanted to take pictures of our head coach. He ain't trying hard. Just shut it down. That proves he's not serious about football. That's like 100-mile gulf you just flew right across in half second. To be like, I kind of don't know if I love the way that comes off. To go all the way to the guy's not serious about football, that seems like a big jump, man. That just seems like a big jump. So I don't know, but it's like I'm a little surprised by the extent of some of this reaction. I'm just being honest. I'm a little surprised by the extent of it. So I don't know. But it is, man, this is tough stuff in here. Liam, what's going on? I think this has got people going. Liam, what's up, buddy?
Johnny, can you hear me clearly?
Yep.
Johnny, what a terrible take. It couldn't get any worse than that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand like the concept of it, but I can't go nearly as far as some people who are against this are going. That's my issue. I can understand the old school part of it of not liking it, but I can't jump that gulf of like, this proves he's not serious. I can't do that. I can't.
Well, let's follow that premise. Okay, he's not serious. Let's fire him. Who's the what is Don Shula coming to coach? Who's out there that you want? You can't just, that's the problem. You can't just fire someone and not have an alternative. right?
Yeah, Liam, here's what was in my mind. This is what I'm struggling with a little bit. Like, okay, Freeman has won more postseason games than we've won in the last 30 years combined. Everybody knows that, blah, 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 blah. But here's what's hard. You can't just say he's won more than the previous guys in the big stage, so therefore you can never criticize him. He can do whatever he wants. Like, you can't say that. But I also have trouble when it's like, well, he's only won those 3 playoff games and nothing else. So it's like he's done the most in 30 years, but also we're still like finding a way to be like, it's not enough, but it's kind of not enough. I kind of understand that. But like, so I have a hard time of like acknowledging that he's done more than anybody in 30 years, but also demanding more of him and where those lines cross. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but John, with WPP, forget about your thoughts and your feelings. Let's just assume that everything he says is correct, right? Okay, he's not Marcus Freeman isn't focused. Okay, let's fire him. There's no alternative. The second point that WPP says is, oh, he really just had a 4-game stretch that was really nice. Well, the last guy that we had basically just averaged 9 or 10 wins a year and had no 4-game stretch, and we let him hang around for 12 or 13 years without any repercussion for that. So I don't
That's
understand.
what I'm saying. That's kind of where I'm at is I want to find a balance between giving Freeman credit for getting more done than the last handful of coaches or whatever since Lou, but also demanding more from him. But man, this wouldn't have been on my radar very much. I would have looked at it as being a really unique thing, raised my eyebrow a little bit at the corny pictures, but I would have never gave it another thought. It would have just been another off-season thing. I'm a little surprised how much tension it's getting.
I mean, I'm not surprised. The last time WPP called in, he said that it was rude to stand up for 3rd down and 15 in a tie game at Notre Dame. So I guess he supports the old the bocce ball wine and cheese club sitting down for an entire game. It's one of the reasons why Notre Dame Stadium has been one of the easiest places to play for an opposing team over the last 40 years. And I think that what he fails to recognize is that we're old, right? What might seem a little bit tacky or lack some class, it doesn't matter about us, right? Notre Dame already has us buying tickets for the next 20 or 30 years because we're obsessed fans. It's about getting recruits and getting kids that are 15, 16, 17, right, 20 years old to get interested in Notre Dame and potentially go there. So it doesn't matter what he thinks. It doesn't matter even what I think. We've aged out already. And the fact of the matter is you need to adapt your marketing style in order to get new people. I don't understand what's difficult to wrap your head around that.
Yeah. I do understand some of it, but not to the level that we're going. It's a bit much. And the other issue is it's like, can anybody name one part of this program that has not improved since Marcus Freeman has been here? And like, I have trouble answering that because I feel like almost every part of this program has advanced. And so it's like, do you get like a little freedom from doing that? Yeah, you didn't win a title yet. So the ultimate thing is not done, and everybody can admit that. But is there anybody that's saying that like almost every area of this program has not improved? And do you not like give that guy some grace that's been able to do that? Or am I giving him too much credit? Tell me if I'm giving him too much credit.
I've only been to maybe 25 or so Notre Dame games, so you can correct me if I'm wrong about any of this stuff. Is it true that Notre Dame Stadium didn't start serving beer up until a year or two ago?
Yeah, that's true.
Is it true that Notre Dame didn't have a sound system up until 2005?
Yep.
And they would just play the band, right? Mm-hmm. Or the PA. There was no music or DJ at halftime. Is that true too?
Yeah, well, that didn't come till the Jumbotron, whenever that was.
Right. And wasn't there an old Notre Dame guy who said things are either growing or they're dying? So is a marriage, right? So is a friendship. So is a career. So as an established college football franchise, you're either growing or you're dying. And if you're not doing things, I hate to say it, I know it looks like a me thing for Marcus Freeman, but if you're not doing things like that, then you're too old-fashioned, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem there.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a struggle because I do understand like the general concept, but I just think it's being extended way too far, and it's just I don't know, man. Liam, sometimes I feel like people that love some people that love Notre Dame are for some reason waiting for Freeman to fail. And I don't know what you gain out of that, but I just feel like there's a certain percentage of people that they genuinely love Notre Dame, and I'm not doubting it, but they have this thing where a part of them will be like oddly satisfied if Freeman fails. That's what it feels like to me sometimes. I'm not saying people are doing it on purpose, but that's how it comes off to me sometimes. And I struggle with that, but I feel that sometimes. I don't know.
There's this old philosophy, I think it's called nihilism, and it's just the rejection of everything. Well, if you just simply reject everything but have no alternative, then what are we left with? And I think that the rejection of everything is used as a guise or as a disguise to make us seem like some people have insider information as to maybe something negative that could be going on in the program, when clearly the program is in the best shape it's been since the Lou Holtz era. And if WPP or many other people think that this sent a bad message or was bad for the optics, then I'd like to know, in their opinion, what does being focused and working hard look like? What does that individual look like? And how does that person convince me that they're working hard? Should they be running the stadium stairs? Should they have on a clear visor and look like they're doing tax returns 24/7? Should they be wearing a button-up collared shirt? What does working hard within the realms of being a Notre Dame coach look like? Or are we just talking about our own personal feelings and not liking someone being in a magazine that maybe we don't favor?
Yeah. It's just, I just didn't expect it to be such a big flashpoint. And the other thing, here's the other part of it. And I've thought of this. If the program was trending down or like failing, or it was like barely staying on the tracks of like where we want this to be, and you do all this, I think that comes off different than when everybody kind of agrees the program's trending up. I think I would feel differently about it. If I had doubts that they were trending up, maybe I would feel differently about it.
I don't understand. John, maybe you can help me. What are people mad about? The fact that he did a magazine or a photo shoot and had an interview? Can you help me? Maybe I'm missing the point. Can you help me understand?
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I do feel like there's certain people that are waiting for Freeman to fail to be able to be right, even though it causes them to be miserable. I genuinely think that about some of our own Notre Dame people. They're like, yeah, they'll be miserable if this doesn't work out, but at least they'll be right. Like, I don't know, man. It's tough, Liam. I understand some of the old school aspect of it, but I also just think it's the modern era. He's a modern guy that's very unique, and new opportunities are going to find a guy like that.
It's the head coach's job to stimulate interest in the college football team that he's the head of the ship.
Yeah.
And if that article gets 5 more fans, the people that criticize him aren't going to stop being Notre Dame fans. So he's doing his job.
Yeah. Now, listen. If you go out there and lose to Conolangus Rice or something, then I'll be mad too. Damn it. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'll be the first one to admit when we lost to Northern Illinois, I was like, he's got to go. But that's not a rational decision, right? That's why fans are called. It's short for fanatic.
Yeah.
And
yeah, this is tough, Liam. Hey, I can't wait to see you in a week, buddy.
You know what, John? I was just thinking, I don't like any of the presidents. They do too many interviews. All U.S. presidents suck. We should just start over.
Yeah, they're not very serious.
Yeah, they're not serious enough.
Liam, love you, buddy. We'll talk to you.
I'm not going to smile for a week. Bye.
Good. Oh, man. A WPP $10 hour trending up. How was 25 more successful than 24? WPP, would you agree or disagree that this 26 roster is the best combined group of talent and athleticism Notre Dame's had in the program in the modern era? Do you agree or disagree with that? To me, that's like trending up when your roster got a lot deeper, a lot more athletic and better. To me, that's trending up to me. Now, if you lose 2 games again this year, we're going to have a different discussion. If you go 10-2 again, we're going to have some different discussions here. But I'm thinking of like people that are in the know saying it's the most talent that's been in the program in 30, 40 years. I think that's an indicator you're trending in the right direction. Wine and Cheese, welcome.
Hey, what's going on, Jack? Can you hear me okay?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me okay? I'm kind of in a public spot.
Yeah, it's kind of loud or something.
Oh, dang. Here, let me try something else. How about now?
Yeah, I'm hearing those ladies.
Oh, dang. All right. Here, come back to me. Go to the next
There.
track.
Hey, it's a little better now. It's a little better now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right.
What's up?
Okay, sweet. Sorry about that. As far as WPP, none of it makes any sense what he's saying. I don't know who pissed in his breakfast cereal this morning, but dude's off his rocker. I mean, earlier we were talking about Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart was hired in what, like 2015. He didn't win his first championship until 21. WPP would have wanted him fired by now. Dabo Sweeney, hired in like 2008, didn't win his first championship until 2016. WPP would have wanted him fired by now. I mean, Notre Dame is what it is because of marketing and what New Rocky did. I saw it in the chat earlier. That just makes sense. Notre Dame is what it is.
Hey, do whatever you're doing when you talk in. It's really perfect at a certain angle, and we can barely hear you at another angle. Do the one where you're talking right into the mic or the speaker.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, marketing is what made Notre Dame what it is today. Notre Dame is the historic program that it is today because of what Newt Rockman did and his marketing idea. Okay, great. I don't necessarily care that it's Esquire. I've never even heard of Esquire until Freeman was on it, and that's probably why they did it in the first place. So, I mean, do you honestly think that the players don't care?
ND Wine and Cheese, I'm sorry. I just couldn't hear you, man. You keep cutting out. It's at a huge distance. I just couldn't hear you. If you want to try again in a quieter location, but we just can't hear you. You're cutting out. I can't understand you. I can't understand you. So here's where I'm at with this overall concept. Here's where I'm at with the overall concept. I have got to be mature enough to find the line between giving Freeman credit for getting the program further than it's been in the last 40 years and crediting him for those playoff wins and doing all that, but also saying, I still need more of him. The ultimate job isn't done yet, and he's got to improve. Do you get what I'm saying? It's both. He deserves some credit for the things he has accomplished. No, it is not the ultimate goal. I'm not saying it's all good enough and there's no more levels. No, you haven't won a championship. You haven't won a championship. So I'm trying to find the line of appreciating what he has accomplished while also demanding more and being fair about where that equation falls. That's where I'm at in trying to navigate all this in my mind. Catfish and Mark with glasses coming up. Catfish, good to see you again, buddy.
What's going on? But hey, John, we're ready for this next weekend, aren't we? That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about how we're going to start the season off right. But I just got to cook on a couple things. So look, I don't understand what's a big deal about a coach doing this. Look, they want to say Kirby Smart. That dude's a big fat white dude. He ain't doing no photo shoots. Who cares? And then he wants to make the point $30,000 a day. Does he not get a time for himself? If they want to go ahead and do a photo shoot, does he not get a day off? So that means that if your employer gives you whatever a day, you don't get days off to do what you want to do? That makes no sense. It makes no sense that people have a problem with this. It makes no sense that who cares? I haven't even seen this magazine. I haven't even seen the photo shoot. All it was publicity. He wants to make a point about CJ Carr being in it. How do you know they didn't ask CJ Carr? And how do you know he ain't going to do it in the future? You want to say he's not 100% invested? This dude has poured his heart and soul in this program and done nothing but improve every facet of it. And you want to make an argument that because he does a photo shoot, that he's not invested? That's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard in the history of the show. That's so dumb. And the reason why I say that is because the proof is in the pudding. The team's getting better. Now, if they regress and he's still doing photo shoots, you have an argument. You don't have an argument because he's done nothing but promote this university in a good way. He ain't killing kids on ladders. He's not covering up stuff. He's not calling kids in the hospital. This dude's doing the real stuff. He's doing real stuff for real people, and he cares. And you want to complain about it? We had Charlie Weiss talking about schematic advantage for years. Then we had Tyrone Willingham for years. Then we had Brian Kelly doing all the stuff he did for years, painting Notre Dame in a bad light because of his personality and opinions. And then you want to talk about a coach that loves Notre Dame the way he does, and you want to degrade him and talk bad about him? I ain't having it, man. That if you really feel that way about the coach, don't root for Notre Dame until we get another one. Whatever. But the bottom line is, this dude has done nothing but promote our university in the way it should be. And he is an upstanding person, first and foremost. And we should get behind that. So you want to go ahead and dog him because he looks good and he wants to be in a photo shoot? Who cares? Like, who cares? Are you jealous about it? I just don't get it, man. I'm sorry I'm on a tangent about this, but I sat there and I was like, dude, we got so many things to talk about and be excited about it with this football team. That roster looks fantastic right now. Okay, they're gelling together. And then somebody in the chat wanted to talk about busing with the boys. What are you talking about? That was a great promotion for our university. You had two guys that went to two established great universities talking about they look at Notre Dame in a different way. One was like, can I take my jersey home? I love it. The other one was one of our hated rivals, and he was like, I wanted to hate Notre Dame, and now I like them. And you want to talk about that Marcus Freeman ain't doing his thing and Notre Dame's not doing what they're – get off that stuff, man. Whatever you're smoking, stop, because it's depressing. You need to get on something that's going to make you a little bit more positive. And I'm sorry, man, but that's just the way I feel about it. And it starts this weekend with good, positive attitudes, too. Because you know what? You want to draw negative to everything. That goes with the fan base. You can go ahead, critique anything you want. But until they lose, and that's the other point I wanted to say. He makes the comment, if you won a national title, he wouldn't care if you did a photo shoot. What? That means he can? So you're okay with it if he wins, but if he hasn't won, he can't do it. That's the dumbest argument I've ever. Like, don't get the magazine. Like, you're mad that don't read it. Like, I guess that's my point with it, and it just doesn't make any sense. I'm so blown away by the level they went to, John. It's not that they're upset about it, just like you said. Like, hey, you could say, hey, man, busting with the boys, it's a little too much, or it's not for me. Don't watch it then. Like,
the level is my issue. I understand. I do understand people that are like, this is a bit much and it's a little cheesy, and you're setting us up for, like, if something bad happens, look what we were doing instead. And where did the photo shoot get you on this one when you lost to Rice at home? Like, I get it. I totally get it. But the extent, the final conclusions being drawn, that it isn't just like, I don't love this and we keep it moving, but it's, I don't love this and I don't think he's serious about winning. I can't go there. That's 100% too far. I understand the old school sentiment here, but I can't build that bridge all the way to he's unserious about winning because of it. I can't go there.
And he loves Notre Dame. You're talking about a dude that, like, literally went to Ohio State, who's on the top of the food chain right now, and he stays at Notre Dame because he loves it. He's vested. He's invested in this program. And you can't say because he's promoting them or he's sitting there doing photo shoots that's not or that's some kind of marker that he's not 100%. That extent doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. My math don't math when it comes to this. It's just like you said, like when you can't hear callers and you say, I can't understand, you should have been playing that for that whole entire whatever WPP was talking. I just don't get it.
Here's the other part of this that I have trouble with. A bunch of the chats were like, you're never going to see Signetti doing this. You're never going to see Kirby doing that. You're not going to see Dan Lanning doing this. Like, you're not going to see it. And Brian Kelly, somebody said this chat here would have lost their minds if Brian Kelly did something like this. That's kind of 100%. The point of all, but that's kind of the point of all this is that Marcus Freeman is different and unique and has a different way to market everything. That's kind of a part of the point.
And why is it bad? That's my question is, what did he do in that whole entire process? Because he wasn't recruiting 100 or 24/7 a day. Like, you make the point that like he knew that he did that. Who cares if he took that trip just for that? And you're like, oh, he's a liar. He said he was. How do you know he wasn't recruiting? He can't take some time off to go on vacation with his kids and family. He can't go to a wrestling match for his son. You're going to critique everything. Like, dude, you got to get off that dude. I mean, straight up, like, he has not done anything to this program but promote it in a good, positive way. And the bottom line is that just because he doesn't win 12 games in a national title every single time they go on the field isn't all his fault. That doesn't mean he's not invested either. Maybe those kids weren't invested last year. Why don't you go ahead and say that? You can't say he wasn't invested. And he's done everything he can as a football coach and from an administrative position to put us in position to be in the talk of a national title. We have not been there.
You know what? It's like, well, I really question Marcus Freeman's dedication to the whatever. He would be preparing for the NFL draft right now. Like, if he really if he really wasn't that invested, he could be doing that. I am surprised this has the legs that it has. That's all I'm saying. I understand the visceral old school part of it. I get it, but we're extending that way beyond my comfort level. And the other thing that happens though is it's like, John, you're going to protect Freeman. He's your guy and he can do no wrong. I don't know how else to say it. He's got to get better as a head coach.
Absolutely.
He's got to improve. This is not a finished product. He
would say that. He would say that. He would say, I guarantee you're 100% right, John. That's the whole point of this. You're acting like because he did a photo shoot that he's not invested or he's not in it to win it. That makes no sense. Why not take advantage? Now I'm just saying, if you look like Marcus Freeman and you can promote yourself or your family to make a little bit of extra coin or scratch, why would you not do that? Why would you not do it? Like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I would rather not do that. Give that to the offensive line. Like, what? I mean, what if they don't want to do it with the offensive line? You're not going to take advantage. Maybe he gets in there and they like him so much and he's like, hey, why don't you do CJ Carr? Why don't you give my players? And for somebody to say that he wasn't promoting our team and our players last year, I don't know. Was he not watching during the middle of the year all the interviews and stuff? He would talk about Jay Love and how good of a person he was. He promote if I remember correctly, how many years have we had somebody sitting in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony? So you tell me where he wasn't promoted by Notre Dame or that head coach, because as far as I remember correctly, he was there last year and he was promoting that player. So you made the comment he wasn't promoting them. How many of the coaches prior to him were there at New York promoting their players? How many times did Brian Kelly or how many times did Charlie Weiss or Tyrone Willingham promote their players in the middle of the year? I don't remember it. Besides Brady Quinn, I don't remember any of them getting to the status of a Jeremiah Love. And so my thing is that was a mute topic too. You can't. Let's do this math equation with math, not with stupidity. Is all I'm trying to say. Don't go left field on us. Let's have fair points for fair arguments. Not make up. And these are all hearsay things. We don't even know where it stands. What if he didn't want to do it and somebody was like, hey, man, this might be a good way to reach some people who don't watch football, right? What if this is a good way for us to get some positive? But maybe he was a little bit, I don't really want to do it. You don't know that. Did you ask him? Did anybody ask him that question? So I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of that. Like every little thing you want to nitpick just because we haven't won. Like that's it. That's what it is. And if we do win, then you want to jump on. Then you want to jump on the coattails. Oh, I always was trusting the free, this, that, and the other. Nah, man. Like I ain't hearing about it. I ain't hearing it. Like get away with that stuff. Like that don't make no sense. So I don't know, man. I'm sorry I went on a tangent like that, but I'm really fired up with that because my thing is I don't even have it is a little corny. It is, but I'm not Marcus Freeman, and I don't look like Marcus Freeman, right? So I'm not going to be asked to be in a photo shoot. So he is. So it's a way for him to promote Notre Dame and actually get his name out there more. What's wrong with that? I mean, taking one day for a photo shoot means he's not recruiting? That makes no sense. Yeah. This dude has improved our recruiting immensely since he's been here. So you can't even use that argument. Brian Kelly was trying to lap dance recruits to get them to come to LSU, and he got blasted for that. Dude does a photo shoot, and you want to act like it's the worst or the same thing, and it's not. Like, I don't know, man. It is what it is. I'm just over that, man. That's crazy.
I thought this would be a one-day thing, get a couple of sarcastic comments, and then the Notre Dame fan base would move on. I really thought this was not a big thing at all. And then now it's turned into like something. And we have the Jersey scrimmage coming up this weekend, which is really the most informative spring practice of all of them. It is in blue and gold. It's this. And I wanted to talk about that and the position, looking at the O-line and the D, your number one O-line, your number one D-line, see who comes out there. Look at those wide receivers who, like, is everything we're hearing, showing, like all that. I didn't think it would turn into this, but that's why I do this show. You never know the vibe. You tune in and see where the people steer it.
Now, you're exactly right with that. And I just want to go ahead just off did you watch that Bustin' with the Boys at all?
Yeah.
Were you able to? Okay. Did you, just a question. I don't know, man. I kind of, at one point in that interview, when they asked a question to CJ and Marcus as far as like, are they ready or whatever, it was when Compton said something about when you're driving in the car, thinking about, and he was like, I'm coming to take everything. And they kind of looked at each other and smiled. Yeah. That wasn't cocky. That was confidence. And I'm going to tell you right now, I kind of feel something about that. Like you hear like reports, like all these transfers, they're not just taking number one roles. They're actually having to fight. Like they might be in the two deeps or, stuff like that. And what I mean by that is that I think there's a quiet confidence and they're not coming out being like, I didn't get that in that take. They weren't like cocky with it, but you could tell like there's little confidence there. You know what I mean? Like it's a little different than in years past. And you were saying in that little short clip you did yesterday, as far as Freeman and how he might stay because of the way he's like answering stuff and the way he's carrying. I agree with you. There is a little bit of a switch there, and he is kind of like, I think he's settling into this a little bit, and I think he did take a lot of mentorship from Lou. I think he did, like Lou kind of told him about, and he believed it, and he like, and I think that he's kind of like, he's growing into this role a little bit, man. And I think that he might be here for a little bit longer. I'm hoping and praying, but at the same time, like you could tell there's a little bit of a switch in the way that he carries himself. I agree with that whole entire little take that you did on that. I was like, I thought you were 100% right with that.
I just think there are little indicators there that
yes.
Freeman's throwing out where it's a little more on the sticking around Notre Dame side. So that's the tea leaves. We'll see if it happens. People want to know, Catfish, you come into blue and gold, right?
Absolutely. That's why I was asking you in the chat. I was like Friday night, so I'm actually going to stay Friday and Saturday, but I'm working a little bit early tomorrow, and I know or next week on Friday. So when we come up, we're going to be there a little bit late. That's why I asked where we're going to be at Friday night and Saturday. Because if you're going to be at the Eddy Street Commons, I'm going to come over there and hang out because me and my son want to. We got some shirts made and everything else. We're ready.
Oh yeah. So we're going to do that. If you want, shoot me an email. I'll give you my number so we can stay in touch so you can meet up with us Friday. Okay.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm looking forward to meeting everybody in the chat too. And just because I feel this way, don't mean that I love everybody in the chat. You guys are all, it's what makes us good and close in this community, man. So love y'all and go Irish, leave no doubt, as they say.
There you go. I'm going to leave no doubt in my next photo shoot for sure. Northern Irish 333. I cannot, dude. It's kind of bothering me that right before the most important practice of all of the spring stuff, it's not even blue and gold, it's this jersey scrimmage. It's a little disturbing to me that this has devolved into debating this Esquire thing. It is a little frustrating to me, but you got to go where the ship steers. I don't know any other way to put it. Marshall, Iowa State, NIU, Miami A&M. What do you mean? You don't get it. There's no time for photos. Think you can't honestly be like, when the opportunity presents itself to Notre Dame's media team or PR, Freeman's handler, whoever would be the liaison here. Esquire approaches you. We want to do a profile on Freeman and highlight him or whatever. Who expects a part of deciding whether or not to do that to be like, let's look at what happened week 2, 4 or 5 years ago. And if it didn't go right, you shouldn't do that. Like, I'm struggling to understand the calculation of how losing to Marshall in year 1 somehow means Freeman shouldn't do a promotional thing in year 5. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally like missing the boat and I'm soft now. I don't know, man. Crying, what's going on?
Oh, hey. How's it going, man?
It's going very well. I wanted to talk about the jersey scrimmage and how it might be the best chance we'll have to actually learn some things about this team until August. But everybody else wants to talk about Esquire. What do you think?
Okay, so I've consumed all the contents of the latest Freeman media tour as a Notre Dame degenerate like me does.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I think I'm less concerned with him doing it. I don't understand why you would say, oh, he doesn't care about Notre Dame winning because he is going and doing these media spots. I don't no, every coach is sort of doing this right now. So I think that's a null argument. But still, to me, just looking at the interviews themselves, particularly Bussin' with the Boys, I don't care about the Esquire photo shoot, by the way. Who cares? I don't care. I mean, to me, it's annoying in the sense of you remember the movie trailers they did a few years ago, where it's like, all right, come on, this is seriously, let's win something. But still, okay, that's water off my back or whatever. But when I look at the Bussin' with the Boys interview, I truly believe Freeman wants to win at Notre Dame. But I called in a few weeks ago and I talked about how he gets too big for his britches. And I think we're there again. I think he reads his own headlines too much. They're asking him a lot about the pressure of being like highly ranked preseason, having the odds to win it and everything like that. And, he does the talk. He says we need to focus on what's right in front of us. But in the same breath, he's like, he is all giggly and easygoing and everything like that. And I just kind of want to see a killer attitude from him. I don't know if Freeman truly believes what he's saying a lot of the time. Like, he talks about how I'm not my player's buddy, right? He'll say that. But in the same interview, he's like, bumping elbows with CJ Carr, laughing about playing ping pong with him and, who won in a game and stuff. It's that type of thing that just makes me just a little food for thought. That type of pattern of behavior we've seen before with him. He really likes the glory of like having a lot of hype around him, and he doesn't do well with it. So yeah.
Yeah, how do you balance any of these concerns or whatever with the other side of the coin of like promoting Notre Dame is awesome. If you want to reach a new audience in Esquire that maybe would look differently at college football in Notre Dame, that's a way to do it. Regular people that watch Bussin' with the Boys learn more about Notre Dame and some of the tradition and stuff. Like, could you not argue that that's all good promotion for the university? While some things may highlight Freeman specifically, having those unique opportunities, couldn't you just argue that's good promotion for the whole modern operation? The more our guys are out there?
Yeah, it's all. I mean, it's truly promoting Notre Dame in a great way. I have non-Notre Dame fans hitting my line that know I'm a fan, and I'm like, "Wow, this is great, cool interview, everything like that." Um, but I don't want Freeman to be someone who he's not. But this is where he could kind of maybe learn a little bit from Signetti, which I hate to say, which is like, dude, let's get this killer mentality. Let's stop with all the smiling and giggling. Let's stop bumping elbows with our players and at the same time saying we're not buddies with them, which he clearly is, like really close to his players. I don't know why he says that. Um, and let's like kind of, he can sit there in the interview, he can show up. There's no problem with that. It's just let's like have a little bit more of a um, I don't know, less lax. Like, I want a little bit more that makes me feel like he understands the mission in front of him. But again, this is off-season fodder that I'm reading too much into, probably. But I think it was. I had to call in and talk about it because it did sort of fall in line with what I had called in a few weeks ago about his demeanor when there's a lot of hype. So yeah, I'm excited for the Jersey scrimmage too, man. What are we hoping to know the most about here?
I think I let's start with this. I think line play on both sides because it's your only chance to really get ones on ones, good on good. What does Will Black look like over there? How's Anthony Knapp transition back to inside? What does Black look like? Defensive line. It isn't about who's the first guy out there for me. It's situationally. What is their run stopping front look like when they first go out there? What do they want to do on third and long? Who are the first guys that get in there to get after the passer kid? Does Rodney Dunham really have a role in this, or is that hype? Like I'm interested with those lines because they're the most important units that play together, and this is our only chance to really see that till we get back to August, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess I have a follow-up for you. Not to turn it around on you because you're the one asking the questions. But when it comes to the line play, like walking away from the scrimmage today, what would you be most happy to hear?
Like you know what I want to know? I need to know for sure that I could trust Will Black to not get Carr chopped in half, which ruins the whole year. There's something because the next debate we're going to have is that number 2 quarterback role could be the most unimportant, unrelevant, or the most important storyline of the entire year. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
then it's like, I want to know I could trust my left tackle to protect that kid's blind side because if something bad happens over there, it could be really, really awful. That would be a big deal. Is that Matty Augustine pushing for a starting role? I'm interested in that narrative too. Is this, flip it over, is this the year Bryce Young really rises up and meets expectations? Like how about Keon Keeley? We haven't really heard much about him all spring. What exactly is the deal with that? Like, I want to see all this stuff up front.
Yeah, for sure. To me, I think the thing about spring, when we look at the coverage of it from the media, like the few shows are just like, we're not even talking about Carr. I don't care what Carr does. I mean, he's basically writing him off as a finished product that we don't need to evaluate any further or watch any further in practice. And obviously, they're evaluating him in practice and continuing to improve his game in-house. But I want to hear that Carr is still playing well. It was a year ago in the same spring scrimmage where there was a bit of a debate who outplayed who, him or Kenny Minchie. And I want to see if, a lot of that was chalked up to the pressure being on him to win the competition and him sort of crumbling under those expectations. So I want to hear that he's still playing well, and maybe even better than a year ago, with those expectations off of him now that he's the guy. It's important to me that he doesn't have a sophomore slump. Obviously, I just, I am excited about Carr, but anytime we're just writing a player in his second year starting as a finished product, then, I get a little dubious on that. And then the receivers too, very important. I want to hear about Graham making a play or two, and I would love to hear about Micah Gilbert making a play. Those are the two receivers I want to hear about.
Yeah, it's and I want to see more of like Bubba. I want to see it. There's a little hype with him. I want to see how he's used and what that looks like. I want to see that. What about that other crop of guys that are in the middle of like the Cam Williams? Where's a Burris and a Bettis at? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, some of those middle of the rung guys on that wide receiver front, I want to see kind of where they're at. But so yeah, man, I don't know. This just all feels a little unique. All of these vibes. I feel there's an increased real pressure this year that isn't always there every year with the rise, the risen expectations. I feel like everything's getting cranked up a little
scary?
more. Like the way we analyze everything's getting cranked up. The scrutiny, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, man, it's scary. I mean, Marcus Freeman's. It feels like Marcus Freeman's the president or something.
It's dangerous.
It's scary, dude.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have so much momentum. And again, I just go back to like, what do we have? That 2024 run was just so magical, special place in my heart, But you look at his other years, it's like, last year I will give him a pass on. But it's just what gives me confidence that he can seize the moment, as they say, and make everything turn out in our favor and make it so we don't fall out into the first game and fall flat on our face like we've done before. So I'm just hoping he's practicing what he's preaching. Sometimes I just think like Marcus has this live in the moment mentality, reach your full potential mentality. And then I just don't know if he necessarily believes in it. And that's what I have to see. If we have to go, I mean, to me, I'll never say anything bad about, no, never mind. But like we have to go 12-0 this season. We have to go 12-0. And 11-1 would be, I think we'll get in, but like an undefeated season would really, really foster some confidence among the fans in what Marcus Freeman is capable of, especially sort of the sect that I'm in, where I'm like half bought in, half foot out the door because I just look at the results of those first few seasons. Yeah.
Man, but the first couple, what level of grace did you allow the guy to come in and as a first-time head coach? Like when you're analyzing those first couple years as marks against him, is there any leeway there or grading on a curve because he was learning on the fly at like under the spotlight in South Bend? Does that get any consideration, or is the record the record? This is Notre Dame. You're expected to win. You had a good enough talent.
Yeah, and not to rehash it. I mean, I definitely give them grace for that. I just think they could have done better. The Louisville, Clemson in 23 were inexplicable losses. Marshall in 22 was inexplicable, regardless of how much you've coached. You have a staff around you that's coached before, that you can lean on that experience. So some of those inexplicable losses, and then even in 2024, which I hold near and dear, there's still Northern Illinois, man. It's a thing. So I am still sort of holding a grudge on that. It might be unproductive to do that, but I think those matter. And I think you have to take those into consideration when you project into the future. There's something. Marcus is a great coach, dude. He's a great coach. He's a great motivator. He's great at facilitating culture among his players. But is it always going to have to be this backs against the wall, fighting for our life thing with him? And
I think that
when you're the
fair.
underdog, is it the underdog thing that makes him win? And like so far, it seems like he has to be the underdog to achieve.
Yeah, it is. That part is fair of like, where do you get to the point where you're not operating like on the verge of disaster through a
Right.
year, like it goes to plan and you like have some leeway there. I do think that's fair. Crying, thanks for joining on a Friday, buddy.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Have a good one. Thank you. Appreciate it. When did the training wheels come off for Freeman? We've given grace because wildly better than Kelly with recruiting and a first-time head coach, and he's feeling it out. When can we stop? Like, is this year a really good answer? You're no longer able to claim the new guy thing in year 5. You should be hitting your stride. And there's been a lot of lessons he learned, good and bad, and what to do and not to do, whatever. I think year 5, it's fair to say you should be hitting your stride, and anything dumb that happens, you don't get the, oh, he'll learn from it. He's a new guy. 5 years. This is year 5. Time flies. The new guy stuff's got to be over. It's got to be over. Mark, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, only Notre Dame fans would be worked up about this photo shoot on the eve of the Jersey scrimmage and everything that's going on. But I want to talk about 2 things on my radar. Well, I don't have anything on the Jersey scrimmage, but I want to talk about, you talk a lot about proof of concept over the last, year or so. But I want to talk about Thursday night. Is going to be hugely significant for this program. I think it's under the radar. Next week is going to be ramped up, but last 40 plus years, we've only had one running back drafted in the first round. That was Jerome Bettis 33 years ago. I think this is a huge deal. Since 2000, we have 4 top 10 draft picks. All have been offensive linemen. All of this to say this is a needle mover. I got a whiteboard. Look at this shit. First round draft pick since 2000.
Ooh. That tells a
Bama
story.
49. You go down, and again, the last 4 of ours have been offensive linemen. Every school up here has won a championship in this time, and all of them have won multiple except for Miami. So, going to what Bussin' with the boys was talking about, Compton, create evidence. This is all evidence. Having just had a top recruiting class, more 5 stars than the previous 12 years, that's evidence. More top level wins than the previous 30 plus years, that's evidence. And it's cause and effect, but 5-1 postseason with our one loss being the national champion Ohio State, that's evidence. Georgia is the only team with more ranked wins than us, that's evidence. And Freeman's the best coach against the spread since he's been a head coach, that's evidence. So I think, again, all this in totality, what does it mean? I'm picking and choosing like stats to kind of say where we're at. And that's kind of in retaliation of this bullshit with this photo shoot. And if WPP wants to give me his address, I'd like to buy him an Esquire subscription. I don't know if he would like to take me up on that, but I do think I think it's making a lot about nothing. We've had coaches. I would look this up. I mean, we've had coaches doing I don't know if you remember this here.
Yeah.
You remember that guy? A couple others I'd pull out. This was, this was after a 3-9 season. We got Charlie Weiss grill, and then we've seen this before. very similar things. So it's much to do about nothing. I think.
How did you make those?
And that picture frame with them black sunglasses looks, that was a cool picture. All the others, I don't know what the hell was going on. If it was just handlers that, kind of messed up, but
Cheeseburger one. The rollerblading. Oh man, those are classics.
But I think recruiting the way it is, we just saw it, and I think all this hype and excitement that Love's going to get next week leading up to Thursday night. And then, Leonard Moore is going to be a top 10 pick the following year. CJ Carr, who knows? I mean, all this stuff is very significant and goes against to this first round, draft pick where, you can't hang your hat on 4 offensive linemen. I mean, that's great, but like these, Alabama, Ohio State, all these teams, LSU, it's they're in a completely different world where they're talking about star power, and I think this kind of goes a long ways to go against that narrative. And anyhow, that's all I got. Shout out to the chat, and I'm looking forward to getting some coverage on this that scrimmage Saturday.
Mark, that was unbelievable creative effort. Show them again.
It's your boy. We got Charlie.
Oh my God. Oh, Mark, God bless you. Oh, that's unbelievable, dude. That looks so real. I almost thought it was like real. Look at who's back. Clayton, he's back. Clayton, people have been asking about you, brother. We've been really people have been asking where you've been. We're glad you're back. Tom, what's going on, buddy?
Oh my God, Mark with glasses, Mark with receipts, Mark with fucking comedy. I love it.
Oh. Tom, you've been hearing some of this stuff. I would like to know 2 things from you. Your reaction to the pushback about the Esquire situation and the Jersey scrimmage. What do you think is most important that you're looking for when it gets reported back to us?
Okay, so good questions. And the Esquire thing. All right, so there were a few people that had commented in the chat earlier. They didn't even know what Esquire magazine. Esquire magazine's been around since the Depression. So I think the early 30s. I had an old girlfriend that worked for them in advertising many years ago. It's a magazine that most of these magazines like Esquire, GQ, they don't have any following anymore. Use F. Scott Fitzgerald, Adductus Halsey, Jack Kerouac. That was the level of writers and things that they would put in Esquire magazine. It was built for men, upwardly mobile men. It was a yuppie magazine before the word yuppie even came in, right? Yeah. So he gets a little spreadsheet in there. Fine, it's great, whatever, great. So let's equate that back to what Ara Parseghian and Lou Holtz used to do. They were the biggest sought after dinner speakers during the off season than anybody. They made big money doing what they had to do. So let me ask you a question, all you negative Nellies. Do you think Lou Holtz and Ara Parseghian weren't locked in on their team when they were on the circuit? And they were traveling a lot. Notre Dame clubs of Chicago, Notre Dame club of anywhere. They were the after dinner. And then Ford Motor Company. I mean, any big corporation, IBM, Xerox, they would have Parseghian and Holtz come and address their sales team constantly. So, you know what? This is much ado about nothing. Mark is right. And it's just a picture of Tyrone Willingham in rollerblades. I saw it live in person one day on campus. I was down there. It was after a blue gold game, and he comes strolling out, and he's got it, right down the South Quad toward the Rockney Memorial Building where their offices were at that time. It was just hilarious. I go, I can't believe this dude. So, and then did you see the interview he did this week with Kay Adams?
Yeah.
I thought that was a great interview, and she brought up a fantastic point, talking about the running backs as Notre Dame, the new running back university.
I like it.
From Kyron Williams to Audric Estime to Love and Price, and she asked him the question, what's in the tank? Do you have running backs that are going to perform at that level? He didn't deflect the question. He just said, I like my chances. I like my guys.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be very surprised. So that brings you into the Jersey scrimmage. Yeah. I want to see the 4-down linemen. I want to see if they can get a rush against our number ones, a 4-man rush, so that our linebackers can do a lot more in pass coverage and rushing the passer off the edge. That's the main thing I want to see one-on-one. Now,
Tom, that's where if I had to pick one thing I want to see, it's number one O-line, number one D-line going at it. Who wins those battles? Like what is the rotation like? I want to see some of that.
Yeah, and the other thing, we've got 2 possession receivers. Jaden Greathouse, I want him to come back and have a monster year. I want him doing what he does best, is sneaking behind. He's not swift of foot. We know that. But somehow he gets open just like Faison. So we've got 2 possession receivers now with 2 tight ends that can catch the ball. And now we got game breakers that can go deep. That's going to be what I want to see. Is it going to be the transfers from Ohio State? Is it going to be Micah Gilbert? Is Cam Williams going to finally come out? Somebody's got to step up and be a game breaker, but we have possession receivers. So what does that mean? Moving the chains, being able to extend drives. And I think CJ has the moxie and the smarts to get out of things. His decision-making skills are going to be at least 25% better than they were last year. So, there's a lot to be positive about.
Yeah.
And I just, that's what everybody, we're always waiting for that other shoe to drop. Well, when's the real Notre Dame going to show up? When's the conflict and the first real bad thing happen? Well, any national championship team that I've ever seen has a couple things in common. They've got All-Americans on both sides of the ball. They've got great coaching, and they've got good health. And the health injury bug that's bit Notre Dame for the last 3 or 4 years has not been fair to Notre Dame. I mean, it's just whatever the reason. I think they're due to have a healthy year.
Yeah.
That backs that up is the depth of talent that Marcus Freeman's been able to recruit. So, that's the thing you'll see. That's what I like about the Jersey scrimmage and the blue gold game. You'll get a chance to see a little bit of the depth. You know what I mean? So, and it will get tested. It's going to be tested from game 1. And I think they're going to surprise the nation how deep they really are.
Yep, man, there's a lot to watch. And here's the other part that's interesting about it, Tom. Blue and gold, we get to see. When the games start, everyone could see the results.
Yeah.
The Jersey scrimmage is interesting because we're all kind of a hostage to the reports that come out from that small circle of legacy media that's in there. That's what makes this really unique because we're only relying off basically what those reports are. So it's a really interesting dynamic as a Notre Dame fan.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. So, I mean, when you were breaking down the the different position groups and you start getting into the X's and O's, you know, actually Kay Adams brought this up. She did a remarkable interview, I thought, with Freeman. If you guys get a chance, pull it up. She asked some great questions. And they were talking about situational things. What are you going to be able to do with certain players? And he's got more flexibility because of the depth, especially on offense, that there are multiple players on actually both sides of the ball that can play multiple positions and do it well at a high level. Mm-hmm. So that's the things those are the intangibles that we can't see yet. And I think that'll come home to roost. I'm so excited to see the defensive backfield and see Joey O'Brien, you know, come in. You're not going to be able to keep that kid off the field.
Yeah.
He's too good. So
it's going to be great. Tom, I hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Yeah, I am. I feel great. Unfortunately, I got to have surgery on my foot on Wednesday. So they told me I could be in a walking boot. So I may show up at the Blue Gold game. I play hurt, Coach. Put me in, Coach.
See how it feels. Yeah. But if you can't make it, no big deal. Be there in spirit and then come to the tailgates in the fall. Tom, God bless you, buddy.
Thank you, John. We'll see you later, guys.
We'll
positive.
Talk to you.
Relax. Things are going to be well.
Oh yeah, you know me, Mr. Relaxation. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start a meditation app next. Yeah. Clayton is a saint. People have been asking for Clayton, man. It's good to have you back here, buddy. It's just it doesn't feel right unless Clayton's here. I'm just telling you. That's for sure.
Don't let the media tell you how to think and feel.
ND Still, welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, love your show. Hey, I'm driving. I don't know if you can hear me, but
yeah, you sound great, man. What are you, FedExing it or what?
FedEx. Hey, I love your show, man. Hey, you say everything that all fans feel, and you feel the same way we all feel, man. Great representation. Hey, I'm gonna say something. Then I'm gonna get off. I want to hear your response. Sure. Hey, me with the games. I don't feel we have to go 12-0. I like it if we go 11-1. I'd rather lose the one game towards the end of the year to knock off that fake hype and to get you locked back in for the playoffs, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So you don't get like too full of yourself. You want to be knocked down and not think you're like you got it all figured out. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but I know a lot of fans feel like we should go 12-0 and or it's a failed year, you know. It's college football. We're gonna take a loss. We just hope the loss is during the season and it's not the beginning of the season.
Now, okay, what about this, man? What about this part of it? There's also an argument that if you were to lose one game, you wouldn't get that bye, and all the numbers show the bye teams lose. Right.
We don't want the bye. We don't want the bye. I love watching a Notre Dame playoff game at home. Hey, I don't need the 1 seed. I'd rather have the home game than have the 1, 2, 3 seed or the bye. We don't need the bye. We don't need the bye. Unless we hit.
I like where your mind's at there, but there's a fine line between that 11-1 and 10-2, and you're missing the playoff again. That's the problem. If you're entertaining that one loss, one better not turn into two, or you're playing for a Pop-Tart again.
Hopefully it comes like the last 3 games, you know.
Man, you want them humbled and hungry.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, anything you're excited for the Jersey scrimmage? What position groups you want to learn more about?
I don't really get all into that because, you know, Notre Dame going to let you see what they want you to see, you know. So I don't really get all into that. Not as much as I used to. I have been over the past, 6 years, you know what I'm saying? But I want to see the games, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I like the blue and gold game, but I don't really get all into that, you know, because it's damn near, to me, it's damn near like 7-on-7, and that's a different type of football, you know. So as long as we healthy As long as, you know what I'm saying, our backs, you know what I'm saying, do half as what our backs did last year, I think we'll be all right, you know. The only problem I see us having is we blowing all these easy teams out, and then we overconfident and we not prepared for a team that we probably be better than, but we don't have that same hunger for the game, you know.
Yeah,
The same thing we did these past 2 years, you know, with losing early. You know, it was a different type of feel the rest of the year, you know. Unfortunately, last year, you know, things happened the way it happened. But hey, another thing about that, hey, did nobody have a problem when the coaches poll had Miami 18, all the way up until week 2 of the CFB poll? Well, nobody saying nothing about Miami being there and Notre Dame being where we was at. Until the playoffs start, that's when you start hearing people saying, well, why is Notre Dame here and Miami there? But them first 4 or 5 weeks of the rankings, well, nobody saying nothing about Miami being 18 and Notre Dame being 10 or 8. Hey, I kind of got to go because I'm late and they back here waiting on me.
All right, get going, man. Hey, join again. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, love your show, though, man.
Thank you, man. Hop on whenever you get a chance. Dude, I felt the stress, man. He wants to know what kind of traffic's he in. His head was on a swivel, bro. He was looking like this every direction. You know, I gotta give you guys credit. I am not that good of a multitasker. I would have never been able to do my real manual labor job or whatever and focus on calling like I don't have the brain waves to be able to concentrate on doing a real job that involves manual labor and moving around and think about this crap. You guys are all smarter than me. Spicoli, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Just chilling, listening to the show, enjoying all the people, man.
What do you make of it? If you've been sitting there for a while, you've heard a lot of argumentation. Are we overdoing some of this stuff? Like what do you think about the Esquire thing? And can we at least talk some football about Jersey scrimmage? What do you think on those two topics?
Man, I could care less what Coach Freeman, if he's taking photos for some kind of, Esquire magazine. It is what it is, man. We have one of the best coaches in college football. He's sought after. They want to know his opinion. They want to take his photo. Comes with Notre Dame. It's the same thing with CJ Carr. Once we start rolling, we'll have them golden boys on the, Sports Illustrated pages. And you can't be mad at it, man. You got to be happy. I mean, Notre Dame's been waiting for this for, 10 years in a row, waiting to get back on top like this and be, kind of the poster boys of football. And as soon as they get, a little bit of heads up or whatever, there's people worrying about if, he's going to miss a day of recruiting or whatever. I mean,
you know what I'm mad about? Spicoli, here's what I'm mad about. I've been mad about it for 41 years now, and I'm going to keep being mad about it. I don't think Newt Rockne was serious about football because he had that Studebaker Model A named after him. And ever since he was promoting that car, nothing good happened.
And see, man, I mean, it goes with anything. As soon as you start rolling and the recruiting classes Freeman's gotten, the way he's building the program, I mean, to me, that's the proof in the pudding. And I mean, we've lost a few games here and there, man, and, Marshall and all these kind of surprises, but it is college football. But at the same time, like you said, 5 years in, I'm thinking Freeman's over the hump. And I mean, I gave him, I don't give him a pass for it, man, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? They made an interception at the end of Northwestern when we should have ran the ball. I mean, that's just a play that happens, But as far as it goes with Freeman, I feel like he's locked in and got it going. And I feel like with him going and talking to the NFL and learning a few things, I think as well as the rest of the guys that he kind of learned Notre Dame's where he's going to be comfortable at for the next 10 years or so, plus. And that's what I'm super stoked about because, I mean,
dude, am I wrong for interpreting some of his latest comments that it's a little more favorable about being in Notre Dame longer?
I know, and it's like people just want to tear down Notre Dame so bad. It's like if we get a good quarterback, everybody wants to recruit him or take him or get him in the transfer portal. If we get a good or a coach like Freeman, everybody's mad about it, and they're trying to think of any reason to like throw some hate on it. And it's like, bro, we're sitting there just chilling with the best of the best. And I mean, who would you rather lead this team? And I mean, thank God that there was a person like Coach Freeman that could carry the torch from all the greats of Notre Dame and get a bronze statue this year, man. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing it, man, but I see it happening, man. I can see it, man. We've been there. We've gotten that close. He sees what we needed to do, and he's locked down the recruits. Our defense should be settling in. Our offense has gotten better. I mean, we lose Love and Price, but I feel like our running backs, everybody thinks the running backs are just going to drop off, and I don't understand that, man. Our offensive line should be an award winner this year. And I mean, with Black at left tackle and our boy playing guard now, I feel like that's going to just help the running game, CJ, the pass game, everything. So, I mean, it feels like this year's the year, man. Hopefully, it's not a down year. And I mean, there's not some other, mega, Georgias or, whatever teams that just have something going to where we got to worry about it. But as far as everybody else is saying with losing the one game, man, I'm off that, bro. Notre Dame, you don't come to Notre Dame to win some of the games, you come to win all of the games, man. And I want to get one of them Indiana undefeated national championships, man. And since Michigan, Indiana, then Michigan wins the basketball championship, I'm tired of it, bro. Notre Dame needs to get on top of this game and take it over, bro, because we can and we will.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a big year there's just a lot of expectations and it's framed very differently. And Freeman's no longer new. This is like a go and get a year, and the stakes are high. Expectations are high. They got to live up to it or it's going to be ugly around here.
And man,
it's going to be justifiably ugly around here. It's got to be a big year.
Exactly, man. When you get to everything that's in, when you got it and you can roll with it, man, you got to make it happen. We've got it. Make it happen. We can't sit there and have excuses of why it wasn't. Because, I mean, what else can we get, man? We have Carr. We have one of the best defenses. And especially with my boy Tay, number 9, locking it down, bro. I knew that kid was going to be a superstar. And then we got a Don. And, I mean, dude, our defense, I don't know how anybody's going to pass on us. And then when we get, KVA back, even the other guy, Framo or whatever, I forget his name, Madden, but I feel like he's going to be a solid linebacker too, man. And then with some of the, portal guys, I finally feel like last year, when I called you the first little kind of kick in on the year, my question was, who's going to be the dogs on the defensive line? And we didn't have a clue. We were hoping this guy, that guy, and the other. And then this year, we actually have the dudes on the defensive line. I feel like that's going to be the change of everything.
Yeah, it's man, I hope it's a deep, talented roster, so they got to deliver. Anything else, Spicoli? Thanks for joining again. It's been a while.
Man, dude, I've just been going through it, man. I'm calling from work also, dude. But like, I wish I could make it out to the Blue and Go game just to hang with the crew, man. But like I said, I'm going to make it out for Rice to be able to, say what's up to the people.
That'll be great. You cut out at the right time, Spicoli. Good job. Mark, if Freeman coached your Rutgers, would he be on Esquire? I don't think so. Again, coaches are going to get offers that are uniquely tailored to them and their vibe and their aura and their personality and everything. It just so happens Freeman's thing, the looks are a part of it. Do you hold that against him? That he's good looking and in shape? Again, I have a problem. I remember the narrative of like, look at the image Weiss is putting out of the face of Notre Dame football or whatever. And then it's like, and now Freeman's too good looking and in shape and people want to see him and we don't want him to do that. I don't know. It's not a talented roster, John. Stop with that narrative. I disagree. That doesn't mean they're going to win the championship. But I think it's a very, very good roster. I just do, man. 559 on the line. What's up, Luis? Uh-oh. Luis. Oh no, he gone.
I can't understand you.
He waited, and then I got him on, and then that happened.
Oh yeah,
Renee,
559.
good morning.
Hey, what's up, baby?
What
Hey, well,
up?
hopefully you get good morning. Good morning. Hopefully Luis gets back on. Hey, real quick, a bunch of things. Great calls, man, from everybody, from even people that I've disagreed with before and people that I agree with, that I'm solid with. Great call, great show. Let me address the things that you guys are talking about. As far as the Esquire, yeah, you're right. Everybody hits the nail on the head. You got to remember, at the end of the day, these guys are people too. You got to also remember that Marcus Freeman has a very beautiful wife that probably encouraged him. Hey, for however, whatever dinner table talk they had, hey, this would be very great for you. I think that's awesome. You know what I mean? And, he's a very devout husband, father, and, you know what I mean? Devout husband, father, and son. He talks great about his family. So why not promote those things? You know what I mean? Personally, me, I'm an old school type of coach. Like, yeah, hey, let me present this mean guy we're gonna get in your ass. Marcus Freeman's not like that, man. That's why he's the head coach of Notre Dame football, and none of us are not. Because at the end of the day, they have people too. I love WPP, the financial gangster, but I have to disagree with him on that. You know what I mean? They can take a day off and do things that are fun. And you got to remember, the draft is coming up soon. He could have been in New York for that. His son Vinny's going to Cornell. He could have been there as well. So, what he does in his life, personally, is none of our business as long as it's not bringing bad reflection upon the University of Notre Dame. Because you said it best. What's the most important thing at that university is a lady on that golden dome, right, John? That's what you said, correct?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
All right, baby. All right, now that we got that out of the way, so let me just put it right down the slab, and then I'll get it over. So that's that. And to think that any other fan base in the country is not criticizing their coaches, man, you're blind and you're a fool. I've gone on to Eric's podcast, the Huddle Pod, and the way they criticize Ryan Day. You listen to Rapino criticize LSU. You listen to people. You think those are not old heads or people calling for Dabo's job? Of course there is. You know what I mean? For the things they've done. So to criticize the coach, we look like the sky is falling sometimes when we criticize Freeman. But I mean, at the end of the day, we know that this dude's doing right. Look at the coaches he has from Jean Marie and the way he spoke about Lou Holtz and him realizing, man, now I know what Coach Lou Holtz was talking to me about when I was a GA. If you listen to the DB coach and the way he explains to his players, hey, we done like this, I can't do that. Man, I love that interview. We're going to be just fine. It's going to be exciting. That's good, homie. I'm going to play it. I'm going to get that one and that one ready. Oh, right here. And then the DB coach, man, and to have Charlie Parsons and the players, we talk about this over and over, that he's putting the right pieces, the right pieces in the puzzle where they never be. He's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Two, he hasn't won a national title. But I'm gonna ask everybody this: if we got in at 10-2 and we would have lost, how would that season have been? Would it have been a failure then, Johnny? Would it have been a failure then if we got in at 10-2 and lost and ended up with at 10-3 at the end of the season to the playoffs? How would everybody have thought about that?
Yeah. It's
legit question, no?
So much of this is individual, man. How you perceive things, what you value, what you don't, what turns you on, turns you off, what's a red flag. Like, I just think there's a lot of individual way you could look at a lot of this stuff, from Freeman's overall record and how he's doing to the Esquire to the roster. Like, everybody's got their own opinion. That's why I can't wait to get to the year so you can figure out the reality of all this.
Yeah, and you know what, Johnny, to say that he doesn't have that killer mentality, I think is a real shot at him. I know it's not done personally, but because I'll tell you this, me, as wild as I see him and as rough rugged and raw as I am, man, I've calmed down quite a bit. And the older you get, in different circumstances, you carry yourself in different manner. You know what I mean? But when the switch hits, when it's game time, and the whole giggly thing, the whole how people want to call him the Fresh Prince of South Bend or whatever they want to say about him, that man has a killer instinct. He played. He speaks about his military father getting him 100% ready, about how his mother is a devout woman of faith. You know that man knows what's up, and he is 100% locked in and ready. You can tell he's got the right boys in the right place. And here's the thing: Liam said it best in his first call. It was a marriage. This Notre Dame's either dying or it's going to keep going, right? And they found the right guy in the right guy to represent us with the right faith, right, the right mentality. And like I said, when you're coaching and you're there, he said it best in an interview. There is no moral victories. We came to Ohio State to win. When we lost to Ohio State, he says there is no moral victories, and he's a firm believer in that. So Johnny, hey man, great show today, man. Great show all across the board. This man's gonna have us ready. We're gonna be ready. Hey, and a week from right now, man, I'm talking to you from wherever my connection flight is, brother, and we're in South Bend, baby. I love you, Johnny. Onward, Notre Dame.
We'll see you in a few days, brother. Have a good weekend. Keep working hard out there. What do you mean individual way? It's title or bust, Johnny. Your individual liking or disliking of the Esquire article, I don't see how that is like clear. I don't understand how that all relates. Obviously, it's title or bust. This is Notre Dame. That's obviously true that it's title or bust. But like having an aneurysm over him doing the Esquire thing, I don't see that directly connected to the title or bust thing. I just don't. I don't. People are being like, this shows he's not serious about a title. What if Marcus Freeman was on the plane flying there thinking, this is one more way to throw a Notre Dame line in the water and get our image and everything out there to more people, and this is great for Notre Dame and me? Like, what if that was the thought behind all this is, isn't it awesome to get an article written to a new audience saying how cool and hip and modern Notre Dame football is? This would be good for the whole operation. Like, if that was the genuine mindset, is that not working towards, like, winning? I don't know, man. I don't know. If we're losing to the Mormons, do you like the Esquire thing? How? I'm just having trouble correlating if they lose to BYU that it's because he took a picture for Esquire Mag. Like, you got to bridge me the gap. You got to bridge the gap for me that I'm struggling to get over of, like, if we fail, you point to the Esquire. Like, I am not able to get there to build that bridge. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I don't know, man. I genuinely, there's some people who I know love Notre Dame. They're waiting for Freeman to fail, and I just don't know what their angle is. But it is like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. So then if we do win the championship, is everybody going to come back and say it was because of Esquire? If they don't win it, it's because of Esquire. So if they do win it, you know what? It never would happen. And if that guy wasn't on there, like Mike Concho in Talladega Nights. Oh, man. You guys this is a wild show. Troy, this is funny, but it really isn't funny. Burr Oaks is like a cemetery in the south side of the city here, south side Chicago. And they were doing illegal things with the bodies, taking people's money, saying they're burying them, but they didn't have any more graves. So they got rid of the bodies another way and kind of were lying, saying to families they buried people, and like people were disappearing and like people were moving in graves. There was an issue. Dude, it affected me big time. I have nothing to do with Burr Oaks, but being a half hour away, I had a trust issue at my business because people would call or come in and not see that story on WGN News, and they think it's you guys. I know how you guys do what you guys, it becomes you guys. I wasn't associated to that individual cemetery doing bad things. They're not a part of the diocese cemetery. That was a for-profit business trying to cut corners to make more money when they ran out of graves to sell. They would dig up the oldest ones nobody would visit and get rid of the bodies and resell that grave. That's totally illegal. It affected my business because my customers didn't even trust us anymore because they see that one story on the news and they think we're all the same. It was a bad deal for me, man. I have a lot of hostility about that. I lost trust because those shady people did that. John, any concern about 27 class not trending well on some of the top board guys? I would like to see Notre Dame trending better in that regard. However, I have a lot bigger picture things I'm worrying about than letting that consume my mind space. But you would like to see it be in a little better place. But I have a lot bigger picture. It's like, can I worry about one thing at a time? You know what I mean? But I know these things are all happening together. So yeah, I'd like it in a better place. I don't love it, but I'm not like in a panic over it right now. And there's still time for things to change, and you could get into the year, whatever. Since the first drive of the Natty, I've been dissatisfied. Y'all act like we got a ring. Everybody's been dissatisfied. You're not like the king of all Notre Dame fan standards, bro. Ever since the first drive of the Natty, we didn't play that good and lost the championship game. And then you started 0-2 the next year. Everyone's dissatisfied with that. Like, everybody's dissatisfied. Like, you're not the king champion of upholding Notre Dame standards. Everyone's disappointed we started 0-2 last year. Everybody. Yeah, I don't know. No one around here is like, everything's fine. You can never criticize Freeman or whatever. Bro, we started out 0-2 and missed the playoff. That's not okay. That ain't okay. I got a couple minutes left. Mangoes pop in, and then the skate rat finishes off. Few minutes left. What's up?
All right, so here's some issues I have with West Palm Pat. I understand he's a Notre Dame fan, but here's the issue. Like, when you're saying that you're not serious, or Marcus Freeman is not serious, here's the problem I have with that. Since he's gotten into Notre Dame, he actually took Notre Dame into to new heights. Able to go to the playoffs, play for a national championship. He beat Indiana, Penn State, and Georgia. Georgia was an SEC champs when he played. When those two went head to head, and he outcoached Kirby Smart. And Kirby Smart won 2 national championships. And it just seems bonkers to me that you're willing to discredit everything that he has done from day one he got into Notre Dame until now because he took a photo shoot. You know who reminds me back when which Notre Dame coach reminds me so much? He used media publicity to prop up his football team and his program was Knute freaking Rockne. Rockne was the man that actually used media to his advantage to prop his football team.
He was on the cutting edge of all of the promotional marketing stuff when he first realized that was going to become a big deal. He was on the cutting edge of all of that promotional marketing stuff. And if you do the research, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe when he died in the plane crash, he was flying to LA to talk to producers in Hollywood about a Notre Dame related promotional project he wanted to do. So I think that was a part of the Rockne thing.
Yeah, and he was the one, and because of his antics of using the media to prop up his football team, immortalized the 4 Horseman. And honestly, the 4 Horseman thing was the most badass thing even till today. Even Reggie Bush couldn't even hold a candle to the 4 Horsemen back in 1924 when they won the national championship. And also, he publicized his concept of the stormtroopers, what he learned from World War I. It's absolutely bonkers. It's to me, in my opinion, John, it's a Notre Dame throwback of using the media to your advantage to show that we here and we mean business. And he actually took a lot of photo shoots from here on out. And when I hear West Palm Pat talking about, oh, he's not serious, and then the critical criticism reminds, and if any of y'all Domer fans know anything about history, this is the exact same thing that West Palm said what Fielding Yost was saying about Notre Dame. Oh, they're cutting corners, they're just over there just publicizing, no respect to the players. Everything you heard West Palm Pat saying was exactly what Michigan's fielding Yost that filibustered and also vetoed Notre Dame from joining the Big Ten Conference when when Notre Dame wanted to join the Big Ten. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, and also you want to consider also the fact that when Marcus Freeman went to Notre Dame, he's competing on an elite level. You guys didn't win the first 2 games. Okay, whatever. You guys won 10 games straight with your defense dominating and just a consistency bias that I will always have a problem with. Alabama lost 3 freaking games, but no one's ever saying a whiff about Alabama losing those 3 games. Notre Dame lost 2 games in the beginning, and they gotten better. And also, don't forget, you're saying in the end of the season that Notre Dame had the best chance winning the national championship according to Vegas. And just, I'm sorry, man. Yes, I'm an Ohio State fan. I love my Buckeyes. But the problem is that some people forget that Marcus Freeman went to Ohio State. He stood on the shoulders of giants. He knows what it takes to win on a high level. And Marcus Freeman is using whatever he can to not only prop up Notre Dame, but also how he carries himself as a leader when you see him going to Notre Dame events like wrestling, basketball games, and whatever has it to show support that he cares about not only university, but him being the leader of which he is trying to show that he means business. What more do you want from the freaking guy? What more do you want from him? You almost beat Ohio State. You guys almost beat Ohio State several times. And that's not serious enough for you, even though BK wasn't serious, Charles Rice wasn't serious, and the dead period between 2000 since Lou Holtz left Notre Dame to when BK set a foundation, but Notre Dame had Marcus Freeman to take them beyond the level that you guys are saying. This is the best roster that I have seen since Lou Holtz. It's just like you're not giving the guy respect. You're not giving the credit that he's due. Just shut up and enjoy the freaking ride and smell the roses. And you will be. And I'm sorry, I do believe this. You guys are so close to beating team like Ohio State because we have our own efficiencies, and at some point, Notre Dame is going to capitalize on that. Marcus Freeman is not a dumb freaking coach. I'm sorry, John. What in the hell do you want from your own football coach is giving you this much more? That is giving you. Let's put it this way, man. Marcus Freeman knows what it takes. He smells the blood, and then you have people who are interested of Marcus Freeman, who is the head guy of the football team that you guys love and appreciate. People are interested in him. They want to do photo shoots with him and do interviews. What more do you freaking want? I mean, I'm sorry. What more do you want from this guy? And also, best recruiting class coming out in this offseason. And also, you're forgetting about the quarterbacks you guys brought in. What was it? Sam Hartman. And then you got Riley Leonard. And now you got your homegrown, thoroughbred Notre Dame quarterback, CJ Carr. I don't know what more do you think that is not serious than him working with the administration to trying to build his football team to elite level where you go to compete for a championship. What in the flying F are you thinking here? I'm sorry, John. What the hell are they even talking about? And I'm a Buckeye fan, and I see Notre Dame for what it is. You guys are going to kick some serious ass this year. Miami and BYU is going to be a tough game, but I do think that you guys are going to go. You guys have the best chances right now to win a national championship and have the best roster in college football, even more so than Ohio State at this point. I mean, that's my opinion. You take it or leave it, but that's my opinion.
Man, this is a wild show. Amigos, I got to get running. Anything else on the way out? Thanks for dropping your thoughts on this.
No, all I got to say is that, if I'm not on the podcast before you guys go travel to your blue and gold game, I wish you guys happy, safe travels. Enjoy it. I wish, honestly, I'll make a confession. I would love to join at sometime in the future, to join one of your tailgates to experience what you guys feel every Saturday when you guys go to South Bend and enjoy it. And honestly, John, if I ever go down there, I would love and be honored for you to show me Knut Rockne's grave, because that's my favorite Notre Dame coach for what he did for his team and stuck with it, even though that he went through enormous amount of adversity. Like, anyways, that's my wishes. But, you know, you guys have a great football team. You guys have a great coach. Anyone who downs on you, they're going to be eating crow by this time next year, because you guys are going to definitely take it to new heights, even though you already have been evolving in the modern college football landscape. Thank you for the time.
Have a good weekend, man. Thanks for joining. God, man. This is just like intense. I was not expecting this. I thought we'd have some normal discussion about the Jersey scrimmage. Look at what this has turned into. And what's interesting about that Mangos is not a Notre Dame fan. And it's like, we're always like, everybody else is shitting on Notre Dame all the time. Then when a non-Notre Dame fan is saying good things about Notre Dame, you're offended by that too, because we don't know if you even mean it. Man, this is great. Caller, we want a title. That's what we want. That's what we want. Oh, man, this is unbelievable. This is going to be a long-ass summer. Look at the way we are now. The skate rat on the way out. Everybody wants to know when's your photo shoot? Ooh, he landed it.
What's up, man?
I want to know, everybody wants to know when your Esquire photo shoot is.
Did you get that?
I did.
Yeah, my front choke was a little off. Want me to do it again?
No, not really. I got that one. Hey, what do you think? Is the Esquire thing a good move or a bad move?
As long as it doesn't kill your focus. Like, here's the thing. What's more recent? NIU or winning a few playoff games, ending a 30-year drought in major bowl games? What's more recent?
Yeah, it's true. It's got to be a big year, skate rat.
Yeah, it's title or bust. It's the first time I ever say it. There's 5 things I want the team to do. Okay. Number 1 is kill your bad September habits. Number 2, defense and offense, be ready. Number 3, stay hungry. Number 4, stay humble. And number 5, get greedy. One thing I will say to the defensive guys, if you guys get the ball, you better be taking that back. I want to see you guys playing offense after you get that ball. Take the life out of every quarterback you face.
That's some skate park aggression, bro.
Anyways, I think, the team just needs to stay hungry, stay humble, stay focused. And, they do have to kill us bad September habits. We can't be having any NIUs, or hell, we can't have an 0-2 start. Hell, I want this team to be on a 22-game win streak come playoff time.
Yeah, it's this is the pressure's on, man. It's title or bust. There's no excuses for Freeman. He's not the new guy anymore. This is a big year. We really do need a good result.
I know. I feel like it's now or never. It's now or never.
Yeah, it does feel like the year, and you have the blend with the schedule and everything, dude. But you are right. We got to get off to a good start. Hey, are you coming to Blue and Gold? You going to be skating off the edge of the dome or what?
I'll come to Blue and Gold, and as long as you have a good spot, I'll bust a kickflip for you.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, be safe out there. Thank you.
I want to end it with this.
Okay, we'll show it. Don't split your wig. I don't want that on my stream. Ooh, he landed it. Good job, dude. I'm telling you what a wild journey this morning has been. Absolute wild journey that this has been. It's healthy. All the engagement is healthy and all this. The one thing I'm telling you is, though, this is going to be a long ass summer. It's going to be a long summer because you don't have it's just going to be all of these debates and all of us thinking things 8 different ways from Sunday. And it's just going to be, prepare yourselves for a long, frustrating summer with a lot of these debates about what matters and what doesn't, what's real, what isn't, and where things stand in this program. Man, we covered a lot today. Thank you guys for being here. Really do appreciate it. All of the debate, it's all healthy. Man, we covered a lot of ground. Thank you guys very much. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the Jersey scrimmage. We'll react